days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, right at you. You give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.
As I look at Judge Mathis is getting a divorce, it's like, you know, I would say, what? I just saw you on a reality show with your wife. What's happening? You know, but that's none of my business. People are living their lives. I'm looking at Cam Newton, afraid to get married, getting his life handed to him by I'm gonna play that clip today. I'm like, you know, and he's trying to justify having all of these babies and no commitments long term to a woman or any woman. And then the excuse we make, but this life is short, but it's also wondrous if you live it. I was listening to somebody talk about regret, and Smith, I need to find that clip. I can't find it, but this lady was talking about on one of these Instagram posts that a lot of us look at our lives like, I wish I had gone to school, or I wish I had gone to that particular school instead of this one. I wish I had gotten married, or I wish I hadn't gotten married. I wish I had no children versus the three. And she said, you know, your life can't ever be a life of regret, because the choices that you made shaped who you are, and different choices would have made you a different person. And wherever you are in your life, if you're dissatisfied, you still are breathing to make different choices. You can't live in what you could have or should have done. And especially not looking at other people's lives to see, you know, to look outside to see, oh, this person did that, I want to do that, because you have a unique experience here. And doing somebody else's thing is not going to be your thing ever. Like ever. So enjoy you being you. And if you aren't where you need to be in your mind, because that's really where it starts, right? It's all your machinations in your mind. I'm not successful enough or whatever. Are you breathing? And if the answer is yes, well, take your ass back to school. Nobody's stopping you. Read more books. Nobody's stopping you. Find another, hobby or something that might challenge you. Take a trip. Do something different. Tell them kids, if they're over the age of 21, sit down. No, learn this. No, it's no. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna do this.
Well, what's so powerful? I mean, you're saying so much because, first of all, one of the early conversations you and I had was me making the argument that there is nothing natural. There's only making deliberate choices, right? That monogamy is not natural. There's only making the deliberate choice. And so you remind me of this thing, this meme that I actually that I share every year. And it says, no one falls in love by choice, it's by chance. No one stays in love by chance, it's by work. And no one falls out of love by chance, it's by choice. And I share that every single year because our American culture tells us lies about love all the time. It tells us lies about marriage. Marriage ain't nothing but an economic contract, but we have to put all this glossy sheen on it to pretend that it's somehow related to love when it's not necessarily related to love. So it's like, we better be real specific and clear about exactly what it is that we are after, and then make sure that we are giving ourselves that gift. I mean, when you talk about people having regret, what you make me remember is the fact that, again, human beings make the meaning of our lives by the stories we tell. And so you have regret when you are constantly telling yourself a story that produces regret. Because as you said, it's mostly in our own heads. We're the ones telling ourselves a story that no one else can hear. But if I'm telling myself a story that leads to regret, hell yeah, that's all I'm gonna feel. So we have to take the reins and be clear about what is the story that I want to write with this life that I have been given. I have that choice because of free will, and that's the free will. What is the story I want to write?
And piggybacking on that, a lot of us can look back and like wish we hadn't have done those things, especially if the outcome was bad. Right. Mm-hmm. Whether it's relationships with our parents or with our children or I wish I hadn't gotten arrested that time. If I didn't get in the car drunk or what, like all of those kinds of things you can regret. But the lessons that you learn through those experiences make you valuable to the world, right? So I guess the assignment is to not look back at the things you've done because you can't undo them. So you're only going to have bad feelings sitting in that. I'm not saying don't make amends, don't apologize to the people who could do all of that, but don't live in your rear view mirror because you will get in a car crash because the road is ahead of you. Looking in a rear view mirror is not your destination. So if you're sitting there thinking about, if I just did, passed this thing or finished college or did that story's behind you, living there will keep you there, not on your path to where your destiny is ahead of you in the front.
But you know what? I would put that together with what I'm saying because what I like to practice, because, I believe that we create our realities through our words and deeds, our discourses and practices, right? So for me, one of the practices that I like to do on purpose as a gift to myself that only I can give is if I find myself continuing to revisit something and I feel that regret, then I get clear with myself about whether I like the choice that I'm making, about how that action I took in the past will influence my future. So just like you said, it's about if I'm going to look back, how do I use that to make sure that I'm writing my story in the present and future in a way that I want, right? So sometimes what I end up doing is having to tell myself a story about that thing so that I actually don't regret it anymore. I'm thinking of it as the place that I learned this particular lesson, and that's why I don't regret it anymore. So I feel like we really do have the reins on how we're going to tell the stories of our lives, because those stories are what we're telling presently, and we can always change how we're looking at something in the past. That's the power to me of being a human being, because we can think and we can think about our thinking. So if I keep going back to that scene, and that's a scene of regret, I can decide now that I'm going to tell a story that makes me not regret it.
Ashe is sitting at. I love that Loree Daniel Favors starts her day with the moment of gratitude, because I don't think we spend enough time in that as well. But she also had a guest on last week, and somebody mentioned her, and she said every time a bad thought creeps in her mind, she rebukes it in the name of Jesus. She was like, I bind you, and sit, and in that moment, she immediately addresses it, because it is a thought that can manifest into really bad things if we let it catch hold, like yeast, I always say, which is why I'm super, and some people are like, oh, you just try to shut people down, you want everyone to agree. No, but I'm not going to entertain conversations about things that we can't control, and you're just repeating a narrative about us, whether it's Black people don't stick together, with crabs in a barrel. I'm never going to, on this show or in life, entertain that kind of commentary, because it's self-fulfilling if you keep talking about it. Let's talk about the unity, and let's point to all of the ways in which we work together, which we do, by the way. Hello, I'm here. Thank you. We're going to talk about Jack Daniels today. He's about to find out. But yeah, we always work together. So let's parrot that, because the other stuff is pathology.
My days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, you give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.